Hi everybody, this is Mr. Buro from Staten Tech. I'm just going to show you a few things regarding basic navigation inside AutoCAD today. I pre-drew a few items on the screen that are visible. There are some other items inside this particular drawing that are not visible at the moment. The first thing I want to point out is that I'm using a 3-button mouse. The left click is typically reserved for like choosing things and pointing at things and activating things inside AutoCAD, even clicking buttons on the menu. The right click button is often used for context sensitive things. So if I just right click the screen, I could repeat my previous command as well as pick a few things that are regarding navigation, which is what we're going to be talking about today anyway. But more importantly, what I wanted to point out is the middle mouse button. The middle mouse button is also a scroll wheel, and in this case, when I use the scroll wheel, it zooms out when I pull back on the wheel and zooms in when I push forward on the wheel, and it does that at a small increment that's preset by AutoCAD. You really can't zoom around AutoCAD without having the ability to use the pan command as well. The pan command also is attached to the middle mouse button, and you activate it by pressing the mouse wheel inward as a button. So when you press and hold that button, you'll see that the cursor becomes a hand and it kind of grabs the drawing surface and allows you to shift around the drawing surface or pan around the drawing surface, which is the intention of the command. So it's very easy to say zoom in to the circle and then zoom out, pan over to the square, and then zoom in to the square. So that's the basic way you navigate around AutoCAD. But often you have to do quite a little bit more precision when navigating. So for instance, I have set a couple of lines in the top right portion of the drawing, and I have a couple of lines in the bottom left portion of the drawing. So those two things happen to be the outward extents of my particular drawing. So if I were to choose on the navigation bar to go to zoom to extents, it would then kind of locate those pieces and bring my zoom level to see that all of the objects inside my drawing are on the screen. So that's a quick way to do it. Zoom all does the same thing, and that's also a pretty popular command. The shortcut key for zooming is Z. So if I press the Z key and press enter, you'll see those zoom features right on the bottom of the screen. All and extents are pretty much the same thing. If I hit previous, it'll bring me to the previous zoom level, which is when I was explaining to you that I had objects on the outside of the screen. So that's also another useful thing. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit, and I'm gonna just want to zoom in on some of these circles in here. So for that command, I will use zoom window, and then upon clicking zoom window, I have to choose the lower left and upper right extents of the zoom window. And then when you make that window, such as this, it'll try to adjust it perfectly to fit the screen. So that looks good. And I could then navigate around here. I could repeat the command and go in further if I wanted to. Just a quick ZW zoom window, and I can go in further, just like that. So that's a pretty cool command. There's another command called zoom object, and I have over here, you could see a hexagon with some nested hexagons, but there's like a little thing over here. If I want to take a look at what that is, I could just hit Z and pick object and then choose that, and you can see after I press enter to accept that it's some wording that says this is small. But then I even tucked in further on the period of the words this is small, another instance of those words, this is smaller. So you can see how extensive and how convenient it is to be able to navigate very quickly inside your drawing, whether it's seeing something as far out as the extents of the drawing or something very, very, very deeply nested inside the drawing. You always have to know your way around. Okay, thank you very much.